So I wanted to take a little bit of a turn on my normal videos and do a motivational video. Hi, my name's Tom, and this is my carnivore life. When I started carnivore, I just kind of dove right into it. I mean, I didn't do any transitioning. I just, okay, today I'm going carnivore, and that's the way I went. Some people can't do that. They need a transition period. They need to feel their way through it. There may be apprehension, and so they don't want to jump full in because they don't believe everything that everybody's saying, and that's fine. But getting on a carnivore diet is really not that hard. It can seem like it is daunting. It can seem like it's going to get boring real quick because all you're eating is animal products. And to an extent, I guess that's true. But as you progress through it, you start to learn how to mix and match foods, how to season foods, if you can use seasoning. Some people can't. But I equate starting carnivore kind of like riding a bike. You know, you start off, you got training wheels, and you're unsure about those. But after a couple times of riding it, you kind of get the feel for the training wheels and you get comfortable with them. And that's kind of like starting a carnivore, maybe even ketogenic, and working your way towards it. You're just kind of feeling it out, eating more meat than you do other things, just to see kind of how things work. And you may notice some weight loss initially and you feel a little bit better. And then kind of like riding a bike, you know, it comes that point in time where the training wheels got to come off. And you are apprehensive, you're scared, and you may, you know, fall off the bike a couple times until you finally, that moment when everything clicks and your balance is there and you begin to ride. And the further you ride, the more confident you get and the more things you try with it. And carnivore is the same way. Once those training wheels come off and you start feeling comfortable with eating this way, it just becomes a way of life. And yeah, in the beginning, you're probably going to fall off. You're going to eat something you shouldn't. You might binge something. I've known people that have fallen off the wagon for 6 months and they start having problems again, start putting the weight back on, and they go right back to carnivore. And I don't fault people for falling off the wagon because it happens. That's just a fact of life. These foods that we've been eating, some of us for 40 or 50 years, have created a dependency cycle in our brains. And we almost feel bad that we can't have them. And so we're like, oh, well, maybe just one this one time. And that one thing triggers something else. And it depends on personalities, obviously, because some people are just predisposed to binge eating. And so once they have an Oreo cookie, it's game on. It's the Coke, it's the pizza, and it just goes on until they finally realize what they've done. And of course, then the guilt comes in, and there's nothing to feel guilty about. You just fell off your bike while you were trying to learn to ride. Get back on the bike and start riding again. I mean, I don't like when people chastise people that have fallen off the wagon, so to speak, because we've all done it. And, you know, it's like casting the first stone. You know, nobody's a perfect carnivore, at least in the beginning. I think people perfect it as they go, but starting out, it's not going to be perfect. The only people that have done that are people that were pretty close to their deathbed, and this was the last resort, and they stuck to their guns. And when things turned around, they're like, yeah, I'm never going back to that diet again. I'm sticking with this because of those issues. So it does happen, but I would say probably 75% of the people who start the carnivore diet, they're going to fall off several times. So don't beat yourself up over it. Just get back on there, keep pushing forward, and eventually you'll get to a point where things just kind of click and everything is easy, and it becomes a routine. And you know, it's like any other habit that you develop. It can take 30 to 60 days before that becomes a habit. And the better you get at recognizing when those cravings come in, the better off you're going to be able to deal with them and circumvent, the binges. And you'll feel better. You'll feel better about yourself because you were able to control it, and you won't feel the guilt. But I wouldn't feel guilty about falling off because, like I said, it happens to everyone. Just push forward and keep doing it. And find like-minded people, whether it's a Facebook group or a website forum or commenting back and forth on YouTube videos. Whatever it is, you need to have a tribe. You need that support. You need the encouragement. You need somebody to go, hey, it happens. Dust yourself off and get back on it. Find someone you can relate to, that you can talk to, that is more experienced in this way of eating. And I think you'll find that having that support system will really help you push through and keep you on that steady bike, progressing through this diet. I hope you enjoyed this video. Just give me a like down below, comment. Let me know, if you've had issues and where you found support, because other people that read these comments, that might help them. So let's get this community going. Let's support each other and be encouraging and not tear people down if they make a mistake. Let's get them back on the bike. Hope you enjoyed this. Have a great day.